I do most of the writing. So musically, I listen to a bunch of bands, I guess. So I collect a bunch of ideas from bands like like City and Color, like his older stuff,
Hmm.
and the Lumineers for
Yeah.
kind of their vocal standpoint. Bit of Mumford for rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Avengers and Men because they have the two male and female. Bunch of little bands like that.
Fleet Foxes.
Yeah, Fleet Foxes, but will never be as
Great
good
band.
as.
I probably know most of them, so
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's why I found you actually on YouTube because I was
Oh,
looking up one of those. I can't remember.
oh,
Um, but okay. So you have the Willow Tree and Better Man. That's out. But how did you come up with the lyrics? I mean, are they uh, about something you experienced or just writings?
Yes, my brother, Braden, he's a bass player. He wrote Better Man lyrically. It was about, I think, a relationship in the past too, kind of about moving on. And my brother Levi and I helped too, kind of just give our part because we're all going through like a similar time, and that was about a year ago.
Hmm.
We're all going through some life changes, so that influenced that song a lot, and yeah, just the emotion behind the chording too just came from that. It's not like a really upbeat, so I kind of used like some minors and
It's nice.
yeah,
So what about Willow Tree? I mean, is that
yeah. The story behind Willow Tree is that Willow Tree we sing about is actually in my grandmother's yard
hmm.
and in a place called White Lake, and we grew up there, and we kind of made a kind of like a love story out of it. And we used to climb that willow tree when we were kids, and it's gaze at the lake and imagine the sea. There's some lyrics. So there's a lake that's like
Yeah.
sits right below it. So that's where that came from. Was from yeah. Most of our stories are real. They're not made up or like. So we sing
So
about places.
the songs that will be on the album that you're making are also real or by well, something things you experienced or went to.
Hmm. Yeah, our whole like our album's called Over Mountains and Meadows.
Okay.
That's going to be our album name, and it
So
kind of
that's a premiere for me.
yeah, yeah, exactly, it is.
very true.
And that's actually an opening line in another song we haven't finished recording. We're currently just trying to finish our album. Hopefully, it'll be done in June.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's actually White Lake is the song title, and it opens with the line "Over mountains and meadows," and that is where we grew up. And that willow tree actually ties into that song a little bit because that's the willow tree
Yeah.
in that place. And yeah, that's kind of our childhood, and so we're gonna name our album that.
Okay. So that ties into another question I wanted to ask. What does making an album mean for you guys? Because I watched a little video about the Elk Tribe, and it said that you and your brothers have been making music for quite some time, and then you're finally making an album. So
Hmm. Well, when we were younger, we would just jam out together, nothing serious, just
mhm.
all learning. Um, I started playing drums when I was 12 and just kind of played around church and with my brothers, but I taught myself guitar throughout the years too. And I had moved home. I had moved away for 4 years actually after I finished high school, and we hadn't jammed out or really played music in like 3 years. So I was really motivated to get something going
Mhm.
and play with my brothers again. So I had kind of the vision in my head of what I wanted, and we found a fiddle player, which and asked her to come do like this trial, see if she wanted to guess sing to see if she was.
Yeah.
They didn't tell me.
I didn't tell her.
I was on trial and they didn't tell me yet. I basically showed up. I'm really good friends with Levi, so he's like, hey, he just texted me, he's like, hey, want to come guest sing in some of our songs? I'm like, okay. So I came over and I sang with them for a little bit, and then at the end they're like, so you're in our band now. I was like, oh, okay.
So
Nice.
that's just how we started. And so finally getting all that creativity that was in us come together is pretty awesome to put it on an album to share to people, because we didn't know how people would respond to our music.
Yeah.
We just started playing in coffee shops around town, and that's not too hard to do around where we live. It's really, there's lots of music in our town, lots of folk music. People like doing
Lots of
that kind of thing.
opportunity.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So our
Yeah.
town just kind of soaked it up,
Yeah.
and now everyone knows us around
Yeah.
town.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we live in a town about 18,000, so not too big.
Well, my town, I think, not even 1,000 people. So,
Really?
Really?
well, my country only has about 10 million people, so it's tiny.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, your
Yeah.
country is probably the size of our province.
That's very good.
But okay, got two other questions. If you could pick any country you wanted to perform in, which one would it be?
Oh boy, I haven't thought about that. To be honest, I probably would want to do a Europe tour,
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
all throughout Europe, and play in there, and maybe another country besides Canada and the States, kind of
Yeah,
would be Australia,
Yeah.
and do the whole coast, because they're huge into our style, folky. Like they have a big influence in that industry.
yeah. I think your style is really, really appreciated here in Belgium, the Netherlands, Germany, France. I don't know really, but definitely Great Britain. So,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then one question I also have is, what is the hardest part? I know you guys aren't around for that long, but starting the band or keeping the band going? Because I've been in 3 bands already, and well, they start out and then they just fade away.
I know what you mean. Well, we're kind of lucky because we have a core of 3 brothers,
Mm.
Yeah.
so we're not really going anywhere, and we're always around. David he's really into it. He's the fiddle player. He does a lot of our sound work.
Yeah.
He's really musical, like sound-wise. He has sound gear, and he helps book things, and he's 100% there. And Amanda, I think she's gonna stick around because we're dating now. So
Yeah.
so yeah, stick.
Yeah,
I know.
definitely having that core, like the 3 brothers, is definitely helps it
Yeah, I think that's
stay together.
really nice to have a core. I mean, they have the Kings of Leon. They have the same setup. They're all family. So
3 brothers, yeah, and a cousin.
I also think the fact that we just the opportunity we've had in our first year alone was really encouraging. And so we didn't feel like we just wanted to be we've just played in our basement for however long.
yeah, because
and done nothing, you know? That gets boring after a while. It's that little switch there, you pull it to the left.
I do like your fireplace. But
Thank you.
So warm. It's cold outside in Canada right
yeah, well, it should be cold here too. I mean, last winter was minus 20 degrees, but now it's 5 degrees, 10 degrees, not even snow, no freezing. It's
now. -10
pretty.
right now.
Okay, I had a last question. What are your future plans? If the band doesn't work out, or even if the band works out, I hope it works out and you make it to Europe. But if it doesn't work out, or well, whatever, future plans.
I don't even know for myself. I would just graduate.
So if you could, I mean, you can never plan it. I mean, you could say I'm gonna do this, and then 5 months later it's something completely different. But if you would want something you really want to do,
Well, band would obviously be my very first choice. So just playing music, being able to live off of that would be the dream, I guess. But
Like that's what we're aiming for. We're pushing towards. We're just building our promotion package in our album and hopefully get out on a tour in 2015 and just play around for this year. Besides that, I've done 2 years or two levels in culinary school.
Mm.
Yeah, so I'm going in for my Red Seal, which is probably the same all around the world. I don't know what you guys call it for cooking. So, yeah, and eventually maybe open up a little shop with some easy food and coffee and in and out kind of place with like some nice relaxing vibes.
That's nice.
Yeah, so use my food and atmosphere as a career. I like that. So.
Okay.
David likes sound engineering, so I'm assuming he'll go into something with that.
Yeah.
Okay, one last question. I wasn't sure if I was going to ask you, but you probably get this a lot, but is it hard to be the only female in an all-boy band? I'm not going to say boys band because it isn't, but...
I grew up with 2 brothers, and my sister's like almost 30 now, so I've grown up with boys. So honestly, I'm definitely in my comfort zone.
She fit right in. She really did.
Yeah. So that's, for me, it's like, it's really nice, to be honest. I like it, so definitely
Okay.
a hard thing for me.
Okay, so thanks a lot. I'm going to try to get some sleep now. I'm going to have
Cool.
class in 8 hours, but... I have one last question. I want to post this completely, so with webcam feed and audio on my blog. Is that okay? Because if I have to write it out, it'll be really
Yeah, totally, go ahead.
tough.
Yeah, you can do this for sure. Whatever. Keep in touch. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll definitely keep in touch for when your album comes out. And
Awesome.
okay,
Alright.
see you later.
Good night.